Hello everybody, and welcome back to Broken Brian. And today I've got some breaking news, literally just happened less than half an hour ago. Just got home, turned on the computer, booted up, pulled up Twitter to see what's going on, and lo and behold, this post from Mark Rubin, the EP of XDefiant, has announced that XDefiant is shutting down. Now, XDefiant, I've heard mixed reviews, and I've seen some gameplay, and here's my thoughts on it. I don't think XDefiant was a bad game, since Mark Rubin came from Call of Duty, and he knew he knew what he was doing, and trying to lead and create a new game for Ubisoft that's free to play, like Fortnite and things like that, and they kept calling it the Call of Duty killer. Now, going in with that mindset, you set yourself up as direct comparison, and missing that mark makes you look bad. And I guess they are not getting the numbers they wanted. So starting today, December 3rd, you can no longer download XDefiant. You cannot create a new user account. Only those playing are allowed to play. So if I wanted to, I haven't played it. I couldn't download it now and start playing before they shut it down on June 3rd. June 3rd, all the servers are shutting down, and you will be unable to play XDefiant again. Now, part of it is this. You've got a lot. Free to play is risky when it comes to game development, because you've got to get all your money from in-app purchases, in-game purchases, and it can be done really well and it can be done really badly. We've seen it both ways. The biggest thing they should have done was, we've got this shooter, we're going to bring back old school elements, and all they had to do was say this one statement, and I think it would have propelled them much further. We are going to be consistent in what we do, keeping the mechanics and keeping the gameplay consistent and active for all users. Something along that line would have propelled them up a little bit more in standing to gamers out there. Like, oh, we won't get like a sudden change of everything. Yeah, that's what people want. They want to know when they get into the game, they're going to play the game and it's going to be fine. But this is from his Twitter account. It's a long post, and I'll put the link so everyone can break down and read it. But less than 30 minutes ago, he posted this. And, he goes in line. The big part is people have purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, which is a big pack of extra stuff that you get, and it's a big expensive pack, and every one of those is going to be refunded. And because you're not going to get to utilize that forever like you thought you would, so everyone is getting fully refunded for that. That's a bad thing. And I had no ill will against this game in particular. Ill will towards Ubisoft, maybe a little. Just because they're consistently doing bad things and making bad calls. I've made half my gaming videos of bad companies has either been Tencent or Ubisoft. So they are just consistently failing, and Ubisoft is, I think Tencent is poised to outright purchase Ubisoft at this point. They have a small portion of the company, non-controlling interest, but come on. We've got this, and it's sad because it failed, but also because, well, it's Ubisoft, and of course it failed. And I just want to see something real quick. Okay. Okay, it released in May of this year. So we're talking, what, 7 months? Not even 7 months into this game, and it's shutting down. This has got Concord vibes. I mean, just boom. And the free to play market it's got to be good and enjoyable. If it's not, then people are out. Especially if you pay for it. I mean, Concord's thing was like it was going to be a Call of Duty killer too, and lo and behold, it was such garbage that people felt bad for paying for it. Like if they went with the free to play model, like XDefiant did, they may have had a chance, but XDefiant just didn't have enough. It just didn't have enough to pull people in to play this game, and it just comes down to their marketing, I think, really, because I knew XDefiant existed and I've seen some gameplay, but it's not the type of game I play. But I mean, as soon as Call of Duty 6, was it 6 that just came out? As soon as that hit, I never heard a peep about XDefiant. As soon as Call of Duty came out with their new version, no one's playing it. Everyone's playing Call of Duty and Fortnite and Apex Legends and on a smaller scale, Overwatch 2. But it is, for the free-to-play thing, they had to build up their player base, and for something like free-to-play, you got to get it into esports competition arena. I mean, you got to really push that. A lot of free-to-play stuff is that. I mean, Summer Wars got it. Overwatch has got it. That's the reason Overwatch still exists, is because it's so big in the esports arena. Versus XDefiant wasn't there yet, and they couldn't get there. And because they couldn't get there, it didn't get the success it could have. But this is just a sad state to say, hey, XDefiant is gone. And, they said they were trying to shake it up by removing skill-based matchmaking. That's good. I hear a lot about that with Fortnite, and some people are like, okay, but I mean, this is a really long post, and a part of it was like, we need to hope it leaves a positive mark on how the game industry treats its players and communities. And they went with a player-first mentality. Honestly, I don't think they did. I think they were trying to make something to beat Call of Duty, and I know it seems backwards, but in gaming, you kind of have to go at it from a non-direct angle. And what I mean by that is your goal shouldn't be, we want to kill Call of Duty, be the Call of Duty killer. We want to make a game that reminds people of Call of Duty, but we want to make it so good other people call it that, not us. Now, if you go with that, we want to make a game so good that people forget Call of Duty exists, then boom, you're heading in the right track, you're heading down the right line. But to say, oh, we are going to make the Call of Duty killer game, it blinds you to your players. And I heard nothing good about, I heard nothing bad about the beta. People seem to enjoy it. It just hadn't built up that player base yet. And I think that mentality that we're going to be top and we're going to outdo everybody blinded them to the fact that if they didn't put what the players want, like they say they did, in the driver's seat, then it wasn't ever going to succeed. It just wasn't. We're going to make a game that's going to be so awesome, people forget about Call of Duty. That's the way to go. No, we're going to make a game that's going to beat Call of Duty. It seems like the same, but when you see how One is a direct, we're going to do this, but if you coming at it from the slight angle, boom, you get it, and you get what you want, and you get the players that you want. But it's just, I really just think, okay, this wasn't like a super woke game or anything like that. This just didn't have the numbers. And I mean, at 7 months, you're already shutting down. That's hard. I mean, actually, it's closer to 6 months than it is 7. You know, you gave it 6 months. Well, what were you? It's just an L for Ubisoft. It really is. They shouldn't have. I get where they're coming from, and I get how they wanted to do this, but really, they just failed. And that's what it comes down to. XDefiant has failed, and they're shutting it down. And there's nothing we can do. There's nothing can be done. And if you put a lot of money into it, I'm sorry. You know, I hate that. It's just one of those, if I put a lot of money and a lot of time into a game and all of a sudden I can't play it anymore, that stinks. That's why I don't make purchases on free-to-play games. Because if it's new, yeah, that game might go away. If it's been around for a while and shows consistency, it'll stick around. And consistently, every amount of months, we're releasing new content, new characters, new mods, new weapons, new things like that. Boom. Then yeah, you're going to keep people coming back. But they just didn't get there. And so XDefiant is shutting down. So here we are. Another L for Ubisoft. Another L for gamers that enjoyed this game. And it is what it is. But I'm kind of sad to see a game that people did enjoy that just didn't have the numbers be shut down. And that's what it comes down to. So, sorry to start this video off with a not so light thing, but I mean, hey, we gotta talk about what's going on, don't we? Or at least be aware. So, if you got you'll be getting an email. If you're an XDefiant player, you'll be getting an email shortly from Ubisoft explaining this, basically the same thing to you. So don't be surprised if you get it and if you play XDefiant. But hey, it happens. But XDefiant's gone. Ubisoft takes another L, and we'll have to be watching out, see what Ubisoft does, see if they're actually going to sell or move on to some shutter everything and start from scratch. I don't know. This makes a lot of questions for what is going to happen to Ubisoft, and we'll just have to see. So until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.